Hi, Jax Richardson here and welcome to the fourth and final part of episode 1 of the Almost Art original series, Interpretation. In this segment we have commercial and portrait photographer Tommy Reynolds, who using a piece of music as stimulus created a deeply personal and emotive collection of portraits. If you want to see more of Tommy's work, please follow the links below.
1, 2, 3. There you go. And so this time have a bit more of a head movement. So kind of instead of looking down, kind of move your head around side to side. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Great, awesome. All right, now we're going to start there and you're going to end back at me. All right, let's just try that. One more time. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Lovely, that's the one. That was great. That was a really nice shot. Couple more. So if you sit on the edge of it, sit on the edge of the settee. There we go. You're going to kind of put it and bring it down so I can just see the word scrap. That's right. Alright, same again. 1, 2, 3. That's really nice. Big 3. That's lovely. Couple more. And we good. After 3. 1, 2, 3. And then back to me. That's cool.
The first thing that I wanted to talk to you about was how you interpreted the music immediately. Like, what was your gut reaction when hearing it? Did anything immediately spring to mind?
When I first heard the music, I had several visuals in mind. I had in mind a feeling of more sad than anything else. It was like I even thought of war, dreaming, being caught in like a feeling of deep emotion, like lying or needing to get something off your chest. I think that was actually the biggest one, was feeling like the weight of the world was on your shoulders. That was kind of the image that I had in mind.
And when watching you do it, before you actually started taking the photos, you spent quite a long time talking to each individual. Is that something that is normally a part of your process, or is that something that you thought was specific to today, that you needed to do to access this?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. So it's something that I've recently started doing. So I was doing it more so today. I was kind of going in more depth personally. So when I do commercial shoots, it's all about getting to know the person and getting their personality out so that they're comfortable in front of me. Because it can be very daunting having your photograph taken, especially if you're not used to it. So I try to have a conversation and just trying to get them at a comfortable stage. But I've been really heavily influenced by a photographer called Brandon Stanton, based in New York, who does a blog called Humans of New York. And what he does is he photographs random people in the street, but before he does, he just asks them a couple of questions about their life. And I find that fascinating. I love finding out about people, and I did it recently last year in Sri Lanka, and I did it recently a few weeks ago in Sweden, where I tried his method of going up to random people and asking their backstories. For me, the way I would describe it, it's like when you buy a film, you watch a film, that's the photograph, but when you watch the behind the scenes of that film, that's the caption, and that's the behind the scenes, and that's the backstory, so you know about that person. And for me, I can appreciate a photograph a lot more knowing that person and knowing their backstory. And it's the same with film. I can appreciate the film knowing what the person, the director or the photographer went in to get in that photograph. So with these with honest and true portraits, I wanted to find out a little bit about the person. So we interviewed Paddy and we found out, so no one would have known on the outside, especially me, because I've only met Paddy today, but I wouldn't have known about his mum, I wouldn't have known about the scrapbook. So and just to add on to what you were saying, specific today was bring something that means something to you, to help get a conversation going, and so that helps me get to know them and get to know them as a person, and so I can draw out them as a person, their emotions, so I can find out just something about them that they wouldn't already know. And that's, again, coming back to the song, it's kind of how I envision it, just in being honest and telling me something about you. And that's what I try to put in the photographs, and that's why these objects, Jess's necklace and Paddy's scrapbook, are in the photographs, because it's something that means something to them, and it's an honest portrait to them. It's about honesty. I think it's that. I think in a nutshell, yeah, your piece for me is about honesty and just getting the weight of the world off your shoulders, telling me something about you.
Sounds like you really appreciate the idea of peeling back the layers and looking for more than is initially just presented to you, and finding out. I mean, that's kind of what this whole thing was about, was to delve into the process as opposed to just sitting there with a neatly packaged finished product. Being able to see what different people go through to actually create their art and what they've experienced to get there and how it's affected them.
I think it's because of what I do as well with video, story is a big thing for me. Story is king, I think Kubrick once said in an interview, and it's so true, and I try to apply it even in my photographs. You know, photographs tell a story, and it's if you can tell a story within a single frame than you can with 25 of them in 1 second, then for me that's even better. You know, for me, photography is one of those rare things nowadays where people stop in the moment in a day and can admire a photograph for what it is. With this fast-paced growing technology and social networking community that we all live in, everything's fast, everything's instant, and everything's now, it's done. You know, with Facebook and Twitter, it's all done and done with. With film, it's done and done with. But photography is still one of those, for me, rare art forms where it's just a single frame, and if you can make someone stop in their day and appreciate that photograph, then that is king for me. And that's how I like to design my portraits, and particularly with my wide angle stuff. So a lot of my commercial stuff is done outdoors, and it's within a landscape that represents the person. And if I can make a portrait that requires longer than a second for you to admire it, then I've done my job. It's like, I don't create photographs, I like to think that I create pieces of art.
Ideally, I guess we'd want to be appreciated as artists, ultimately.
Of course, yeah. But I think you will be appreciated, and you will show yourself to be the best you can if you are doing what you enjoy doing.
Well, thank you so much for being involved in this.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers. So that was Tommy Reynolds. Be sure to check out more of his work by following the links below. Thank you for watching, and make sure that you check out all the others that took part in today's experiment as well.